Hello everyone. So in 2023, I wrote this article on my website and I was explaining how important was going to be for Nvidia to shift everything in their development to AI, as it was a much more stable source of income compared to gaming and mining. If you see, for example, I was talking about the crypto market crashes that would flood the market with a lot of used GPUs from miners, and this would crash the demand for low-end cards, and this was very bad for Nvidia. And this is not a problem with AI, because in AI servers you use dedicated hardware that is not going to be sold back to the customers, to the consumers, and it's also very important for it to be super efficient because it's run 24/7. So you don't have all the stuff laying around and crashing your market in the future, as everyone looks for the most shiny things, the new things, to improve their efficiency in their operations. And so now I wrote a new article, and I am going to make some predictions on what's going to happen next again, but now in the very short term. And I am analyzing the way that Nvidia is reaping the benefit of what they've done in the past. Because as we all know, Nvidia was born as a gaming company producing gaming GPUs for the consumer market. And this legacy of branding is still very strong. I mean, it's the strongest brand for gaming hardware. And so what happens now is that as they are moving to a new market, they have moved to a new market, and they moved all the development on the AI side. They still want to make a lot of profit from gamers, but how do you do that? So the good thing about AI for them is that they sell the whole machine. They sell a whole server, and they make everything in-house. They don't have to like give their money, like share the profit with brands Asus, MSI for the cards. They just do everything themselves. So why bother using the precious die from TSMC's latest 4 nanometer process to make customer GPUs when they can make so much more money on their dedicated hardware for AI? Well, the answer is all here, and also here, as you can see. And so what happens is that they have built such a huge brand name, reputation, mind share with their graphics card, and their target audience, like gamers, are also getting in their 30s and 40s, like myself. So they're becoming like more and more wealthy, and they can shell a lot of money for those graphics cards. And so Nvidia is moving to a luxury model for the customer GPUs, and they are now officially doing that, because as you see from this latest launch from Nvidia, they don't even care anymore to hide it. This was a long-going thing within Nvidia cards, where they would announce like a suggested price, MSRP, for their Founders Edition cards, and then they would make almost none of those. Like the Founders Edition were nowhere to be found. I never seen a Founders Edition card in my entire life here, and I have a small computer business. I repair computer. I never seen a single reference card from the 30s or 40 series. I think I saw some from the 10th series, the lower ones, maybe even never seen a 20 either. So Nvidia puts out these fake prices. I mean, they used to do that, and probably they don't even bother anymore now. They used to put out those fake prices to get good reviews, and then in the real market, the cards would cost so much more. And now this is getting more and more transparent, as they don't really care anymore even about getting good reviews, because this latest generation, they even like managed to regress with the real graphics performance. Because if you look at the 5070 Ti, so this card has like the same die size as the 4070 Ti Super. It's based on basically the same class of die, so it's AD103 for the 4070 Ti Super, and it's a 203 for the 5070 Ti. And as you saw from the reviews, the performance is very similar. And if you take into account the fact that this new card has a lot more bandwidth, I mean 896 gigabytes per second, compared to just 6,172 gigabytes per second. Now, this bandwidth increase alone would probably give you 30% increase in performance if you also count in the raise in cores and TMUs and ROPs and everything else. But as you saw probably from the reviews, the gain were much, much smaller. And that means that the actual Blackwell architecture is less efficient on the graphics side. And yet, the lowest price I can find at 5094 in Italy is almost 4,000 euros. And what is happening here is that, again, Nvidia is widening the gaps between the different class of cards and moving into a real luxury product kind of market, because they have to keep some profit for their board partners like Asus, MSI, and every other Chinese vendor like PN. I don't even know how many of them there are, like Galax, something like that. And they still have to make money. They don't want to lose all of the market that they created, but they just want to share the gains, the money with them a little bit more. So they want to make a lot more money and make sure that everyone else in the chain is happy, even if they are selling a lot less wafers, they're selling a lot less chips to those brands. So they have to increase the prices dramatically. But what they're gonna do next also is, if you look at the 5070, okay, the 5070 here has a lot of secrets that will show you that this card is actually going to perform worse than the 4070 Super, okay? So if you take a look at the 4070 Super here, you can see that it has more cores than the 5070. The 5070 has a very similar number of cores to the 4070. And it also very easily told by the name of the processor, because this one was a 104 class die, while the 5070 is a 205 class die. So the 5070 is going to be the new cash grab from Nvidia, which means that they're going to make a lot of those. They're going to sell a lot of those, because everyone else that doesn't have the money for the 5080, 5090, for this kind of cards, but they still want to have the idea of having a new product, is going to find those, and they're going to say, well, I might as well get this because everything else is sold out. And so they're going to sell a lot of them, and people will be stuck with a 12 gigabyte card that maybe will cost 700 euros, 600 euros. And even at that price, it's going to be a stupid rip-off, because this amount of VRAM is not enough even for current games. And this card is only 263 millimeters square compared to the 4070 Super 294. So this is what really shows that Nvidia wants you to buy this card, so that you will have to get a new one in the future very soon, because you're going to run out of VRAM. And that is the real plan behind all Nvidia moves. They want to sell your dream, and if you have a lot of money, you can buy into that dream, even if those cards are not even that much faster than the previous generation. And then for everyone else that didn't bother to really check the reviews and really want to have the green logo on their computer, you will have the 5070 that is probably going to perform so similar to the 4070 and not even beat the Super. And it's going to be probably even worse for the 5060 and the 5050, just as the 4060 was sometimes slower than the 3060. And this is very, very sad news for the market, as again, Nvidia has such a high mind share in the average customer, and it's going to take a while before people start to really get pissed off by this behavior, because most people don't even bother checking the reviews, and most people will not upgrade from a 4070 to the 5070, so they're not going to notice how little gain, or maybe even no gain, there was between generations. And this whole situation that is being created of inflated market prices driven by super low availability is really all like decided and created by Nvidia itself. It's nothing like, there's no like a surge of demand. It's not like everyone is looking for new graphics card. It's just that they're gonna make so little of them because they don't want to make them. They don't want really to flood the market because they're making so much more money with the same exact TSMC wafers with their several products, and so they only want to sell you this tiny chip for a lot of money, or the huge chips for a stupid amount of money in a maybe golden finish like this. And I guess that is all for the video. Ciao.